by the way of the sea beyond Jordan,
right,
of Galilee,
right,
of the Gentiles.
Of what?
Of the Gentiles.
Of what?
Of the Gentiles.
Right, we've been called Gentiles, right?
That's
so
right.
whenever you hear the word Gentile, you have to get it in context
That's right.
of who they're talking about,
right?
Otherwise, you think that God is for everybody. I heard some dude make a song like that. Jesus is for everybody. No. No, he ain't for me because I'm not for him. I'm only for Yahweh Shah HaMashiach.
That's right.
I don't have nothing to do with the so-called white man, right?
Right.
I'm under bondage to him right now, right? I gotta serve to him right now. But that's only till my time is up, right? Let me get Baruch chapter 3 and verse 8, Baba Kasha, right? Because we still in captivity right now. Right now, we still in captivity, right? And they hide stuff from you because you got to go to work and they call it the plant. That's the plantation. All they did was shorten the word a little bit so we don't catch on. Right? You still at the plantation. They call it plant. Oh, plant 1. Oh, you at plant 345 today. Right? You still at the plantation. My man's is at the plantation. They hate their own people too.
It's the book of Baruch, chapter 3 and verse 8. Behold, behold, we are yet this day in our captivity.
No, I'm free.
We are yet this day in our captivity.
But what about Lincoln?
We are yet this day in our captivity.
What?
Where thou hast scattered us.
Where what?
Where thou hast scattered us.
Right, because the Lord scattered us to the 4 corners of the earth. The Israelites are like the sand of the sea and can't be numbered. We're all over the whole world.
That's right.
You can't think that it's just a color, right? Our people look white.
Right.
Our people look Mexican.
Right.
Our people look black.
Right.
East Indian.
Right.
Arab.
Right.
Our people look like everything.
Right.
Because we've been scattered all over the world.
That's right.
That's why you have to try the Spirit by the Spirit, right?
Right.
Ain't that right, Becky? Yeah, see, Becky, no? You got to try the Spirit by the Spirit, right? They know that their kingdom is over. All praises to the Most High. I just want them to know that their kingdom is over. It's down bad for you, Becky. It's all up and over. Get a sister got a flyer. All praises to the Most High. Her name could be Sarah. It could be Quinga Takalaka. She Becky today. And she gonna take that. Because that's how it's gonna be in the kingdom. All praises to the Most High God, man. We've been lied to. We can lie to y'all too. I can tell you your name, Becky. You better take that with a grain of salt and be happy, right? Just like she was. That's how it's supposed to be, right? The Lord said when He come back, He bringing wrath. He coming with a sword. He coming to kill. And there's gonna be many people that fall by that sword. It's not gonna be happy-go-lucky for everybody. Let me get Revelation 2 and 26, Baba Kasha. But we have to do something, man. Right? We can't just be wishing it. Right? Of course you Salaki. Of course you pray on it. Of course you have faith with it. But you have to do something.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 2, verse 26.
Bring it out.
And he that overcometh.
He that what?
And he that overcometh.
What does that mean? It means that you out of your sin. You are now keeping the commandments. If you have overcome, you're no longer doing sin willfully, right? He that overcometh.
And he that overcometh and keep my works unto the end.
Right.
To him will I give power over the nation.
He said that you have to keep my works until when?
The end.
Until when?
The end.
Until when?
The end.
You have to keep the works of the Most High God until the end. And then what?
And then I will give thee power over the nation.
Right, so you gotta have power over Becky. You gotta have power over Stanley, right? You gotta have power over everybody. The Water King.
And he shall rule them with a rod of iron.
We gonna rule over our oppressors with a rod of iron, because their forefathers and foremothers ruled over us with a whip.
That's right.
They was whipping our back in. Hurry up, boy! Pick more cotton. I need more corn before the sun goes down. Right? Is that not what they was doing? Right. Is that not what your forefathers was doing to us? Our forefathers and foremothers got whipped terribly. Right, robbed and murdered, butt broke by y'all people. Right? This is exactly what happened. But if we keep the Lord's work until the end, we get to do the same thing to them with a rod of iron. Right? Haven't you ever heard what goes around comes around? So that's exactly what we waiting on right now. Because what goes around comes around.
That's right.
And when it come back around, you ain't gonna like being on the other end of that stick. You ain't gonna want none of that. You gonna be over there like, oh my God, I thought God loved everybody. Yep. So much for you, buddy. God don't love everybody. You hold something?
Come on, this is the book of Revelations, chapter 13 and verse 9.
Bring it out.
If any man have the ear, let him hear.
Right.
He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
Right.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
Right.
Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
Right. That's exactly it, man. Y'all led us into captivity, man. Beat our backs in. Raped, robbed, and murdered our forefathers and foremothers, right? We still live in those atrocities today.
That's
we
right.
still see it today.
That's right.
Right? It ain't changed,
That's
right?
right.
Let me get Numbers 35 and 32. Baba Kasha. Because while we on that thing, bring it all the way out, right? Don't just bring it out a little bit and then bring it back in like you in a turtle shell. Bring that thing all the way out, man. Right?
35, 32.
Come on.
It's the book of Numbers, chapter 35 and verse 32. And ye shall take no satisfaction for him that is fled to the city of his refuge.
Right, because they take you, beat you, rape you, rob you, murder you, and then they go back home.
Right.
Right, go ahead.
That he shall come again to dwell in the land.
Right, and he come, he take your land, he dwell in it, he cool, he go back to where he need to be. Go ahead.
Until the death of the priest.
Until what?
Until the death of the priest.
Right.
So ye shall not pollute the land where ye are.
So the Lord is telling you, you ain't supposed to pollute the land wherein you are. America is definitely polluted.
That's right.
Go ahead.
For blood, it defileth the land.
And our people's blood is all over America, defiling the land.
That's right.
Right?
And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it.
But what?
But by the blood of him that shed it.
So that's the only way that we can get our get back.
That's right.
Is that we have to go and kill the white man too. The same way they killed us, we got to get them. The same way the Arab man killed us, we got to get them.
That's right.
The same way the Moabite man got us, we got to get them.
That's right.
Right? Because that's the only way that the land can be cleansed.
That's right.
Right? I mean, because the Lord ain't working with a false balance. Let me get Proverbs 11 and 1. The Lord don't work in a false balance. A false balance is an abomination unto him. That's something that he hates, man. Right? You think that the Lord's going to take his favorite people, put them into servitude, into desolations, into travail, and we ain't going to get our get back? Come on now. What kind of God you serve? We serve a just God. Right? Bring that out, Doc.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 11 and verse 1. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord.
A what?
A false balance is an abomination to the Lord.
Yeah, but these people don't believe that. These people will tell you, just get over it. We're equal now. It's all good. We're cool. Why do they say stuff like that? Give me Psalms 58 and verse 3. Right? Because they tell you it's all good. It's cool, brother. You work until it's time for you to retire. Then you go to retire and they try to take your pension check. They don't want to give you the money. They try to put taxes on it. You can't even live off of your retirement now. Right? Because of what? Go ahead.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 58 and verse 3. No. The wicked. The
who?
The wicked are entangled from the womb.
Right.
They go astray as soon as they be born.
Doing what?
Speaking lies.
Doing what?
Speaking lies.
Doing what?
Speaking lies.
That's why they tell you we equal. That's why they tell you just forget about the past.
Right.
They don't forget 9/11. And that's new.
Right.
They don't forget about their 4th of July. And that's new.
Right.
They don't forget about anything that happens to America. And this is the newest country.
That's right.
But they tell us, just forget about it. Don't you worry about it. We ain't ever been paid for nothing. They destroyed the first Black Wall Street. That's how they got their name for Wall Street. They took it from us. We made up Black Wall Street first. They was like, nah, destroy that. We'll call our stuff Wall Street. Because they wicked, man.
That's right.
Right? They tell you that they your friend, though. Oh, we're good together. Give me Psalms 55 and verse 20, Baba Kasha.
The book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 20. Bring it out. he had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him.
And we was at peace with them at that time because they told us we had to be segregated. We was cool with that. And we know how to turn crap into diamonds. So that's how we came up with Black Wall Street. But go ahead.
He had broken his covenant.
But he said, hey, yeah, y'all can do that. Y'all cool. You cool. Who destroyed Black Wall Street? The American Army. They sent bombs onto us.
Right.
The white man came and destroyed our places. They didn't like that we were making more money without them than we were with them.
Right.
Right.
So they destroyed our stuff and said what? Go ahead.
He had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him.
Right.
He has broken his covenant.
He broke every covenant he ever had. He broke the covenant with the black man. He broke the covenant with the Native American man. He broke the covenant with the Hispanic man.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
The what?
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
Right.
But war was in his heart.
But what?
But war was in his heart.
That's your enemy, man. That's been your enemy, man. It's always gonna be your enemy because war's in his heart. Hey, man. What, brother? What's your nationality?
I'm black and Italian, bro.
What's your
Dad's
father?
black, my mom's white.
So you know who you would be according to the Bible?
Who's that?
Let's find out. Right? Let's find out. Let me get what I want. Give me Deuteronomy 7:6 real quick.
This book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people
Right.
unto the Lord thy God.
Right?
The Lord thy God has chosen thee.
Did you know that God has a chosen people?
I did, but I guess I thought it was, I don't know, politically correct, but I thought it was the Jews, bro. I thought, the Jews were the chosen
Right.
people.
So, okay, with you saying that, who would the Jews be to you?
I mean, I don't know exactly who they are, but I thought it was, all those, like, white
People that
folks
live
that
in
got
Israel.
killed, like, during the Holocaust,
Right.
and, like, those type folks.
What do they call themselves?
Jewish.
Jew-ish. Right. With the suffix ish. Right? If I said that you was childish, does that make you a child?
No, I mean, you act like a child.
So that means when they put ish at the end of Jew, they act like what?
Jews.
So they're not really Jews.
So
They're
who's
just
the-
acting like it.
Right.
Right. All right. So,
Perfect sense.
right,
Jews-ish, yeah.
right. So they call. I mean,
Anything that's ish
Don't-
is like almost.
what about English? Right? Because over in England they call themselves English.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Like,
We own that land before,
Right.
but they call it English.
Wait, we owned that land before?
Yes. The so-called black, so-called Hispanic, so-called Native and Seminole Indians, we own that land before.
Oh, yeah,
That's
you mean
right.
like,
Right.
like the indigenous people.
So they call themselves ish, right? What about the what are the Irish? The black Irish was before the Irish. It's always an ISH at the end because they always trying to be us, man.
That's right.
Right? Because would you want to eat your daddy food or your mama food? Unless your daddy taught your mama how to cook, probably your daddy food.
You know, it's actually funny you said. I was getting ready to say my mom just because that's like
Pretty much who you
the
were with
culture.
more?
No, I was with my dad more.
Okay.
And my dad could cook way better than her.
I'm
But
saying,
it's
I
like
knew
a
that.
cultural thing for like mom to cook, and I want my wife to cook and shit. But yeah, no, my dad was way better cook.
Con, all praises to the Most High.
And I got a question for you, actually, bro.
Go ahead.
And this is sex and marriage right here, but it ain't really about that. But like, so like, cause like, I used to be into the Bible like a little bit. I felt like God had like put a strong power of discernment in my life. You know, I got like scriptures tatted on me. Like, you know what I mean? I read a lot. I feel like I'm giving up, bro, on meeting a woman that is like how the Bible says, like, I can find a woman. Like, and I don't need no chick to be subservient. I almost cussed, bro.
Right.
I don't need no chick to be like subservient or be under me. Or I did not realize you was filming, but that's cool.
If you don't want him to,
No, it's cool. It's cool.
All right, con.
I ain't looking for no chick to be under me or nothing like that, or
Right.
serve me or nothing. We're equals, but like I would look for a chick
Now, is
to be
that
like my
equal?
partner. Like,
Now, is she equal
and be
because
cool
you
with
said
it.
she's equal, or is it equal in God's eyes? How does
It's
God want it to
whatever
be?
God has to say, but God says the man's the head.
Right?
You know what I mean?
So then you can't go bowing down or at least stooping
that's-
yourself to her level then.
Right.
If the Lord says that there's a hierarchy, then there has to be a
No,
hierarchy.
I'm with all of that. But
Right.
what I'm saying is, where am I going to find a woman? Because the American women seem like, I mean,
So
like,
does she have to be
she
American?
don't. She don't. I already been thinking.
All right, now,
probably
listen.
somebody born. I just wanna
With
make sure
with
they
those
don't.
with those questions, right? I have to give you truthful answers. You can't come out here looking for an earthly woman, a worldly woman. She can't be worldly. Right. Right. She has to dress a certain way. She has to act a certain way. She has to eat a certain way. She has many things that she has to do in a certain way for you to even want to even look at her.
That's true.
Right? Because let me get James 4:4, Bubba Kashaw.
It ain't just about him for me, bro. Like,
It shouldn't be.
If we need to connect on more points. You know what I mean?
Right.
That gets old after like maybe a month or two.
Right, and then that's why men just want to keep running around. That's why women want to keep running around, because you're not interesting no more.
Right, exactly.
Because all you did was make that relationship off of sex, and it can't be off of that. You're supposed to learn somebody first, right? Bring that out.
This is what James chapter 4 and verse 4.
Bring it out.
Ye adulterers and adulteresses.
So these are people that go around wanting other people's women or other people's men. You're an adulterer or an adulteress. Go ahead.
Know ye not that ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world,
That the what?
that the friendship of the world
Right.
is enmity with God?
So you just wanting a woman of the world, you're the enemy of God right there, right? Go ahead.
Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world.
So if you love this world and you like the things that go on in this world and you want to act like this world, you want to get a Fortune 500 business in this world,
is the enemy of God.
you would be the enemy of God.
I am right now.
Right.
Because it ain't even that. On that, I wish it was a Fortune 500. We talking like drug addiction,
Right.
and hanging out with prostitutes,
Right.
degenerates, and homeless folks. Like,
And that's
the
not
real bad
That's
part
not
of the world.
of God.
I'm glad that you read that because
All
like,
praise to the Most
I
High.
have read that, but I have completely forgot it, and I needed to definitely hear that again.
Right, so I just wanted to iterate that, letting you know that. What'd you say?
I was just gonna ask, bro, like, if y'all ever use those Bibles that have like this join down the middle, and then it tells you like where to find like. the
Oh, you mean like
similar
precept
data.
upon precept?
Yeah, and like,
Right.
The coordinates in the middle, I think it's called.
Con. We have all sorts of different Bibles, but like I have a Bible that's like that, where you'll read, and then down at the bottom it'll give you another precept that goes along with what you just read.
Yeah.
Right, because the Lord told us that we have to read the Bible like that.
That's right.
Okay, because the question I'm trying to ask you is, are there any translations that you feel like it's too like veered off? You know what I mean?
A lot of translations. That's why we just
So what's the
strictly,
best one? I should
we
have asked that.
strictly
I asked that
deal
backwards.
with the King James, and if you can get a King James 1611, because that also comes with the Apocrypha. You ever heard of the Apocrypha?
Yeah, the books that are taken out.
Con. Right, the word Apocrypha literally means hidden books.
So you feel like Ezekiel is a real Ezekiel, Enoch?
Not Enoch. Enoch's not in there. Actually, in the Apocrypha.
Oh, man,
They
that's
added
excellent.
Enoch. They added what else? Is it Jubilees?
Jubilees.
They added Jubilees, Enoch, like 2 other books.
Right.
But we don't subscribe to those.
No, that's what I'm asking. What
Right.
talking about.
Now, if you get the King James 1611, it'll actually have 80 books in it
That's right.
instead of what they call the big 66. There's 80 books because they took out 14 of them.
Another question. So you know how it describes the way angels look in the Bible?
Right.
Like the real description.
Right.
A will within a will within a will. With
That
eyes
there's
on
three
every side.
three different descriptions of Bibles that we,
And the other
of
one
angels that
is
we get.
4 wings.
Right, he has
Long
wings.
And then the other one has the multiple faces.
Right,
Lion,
and
goat,
he's also
man.
in the chariots of God.
Right. So break that down for me.
Okay, so what do we got? We got cherubim, and seraphim. Con.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 4 and verse 8.
Bring it out.
And it reads, and the 4 beasts had each of them 6 wings
Right.
about them,
Right.
and they were full of eyes.
Full of what?
They were full of eyes
So these beasts have wings, and then they got eyes on them, right?
within, and they rest not day nor night,
Saying,
holy, 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 Lord God Almighty,
right,
which was and is to come.
right.
And when those beasts were glory and honor and thank to him that sat on the throne, who lived forever and ever.
Oh. Now,
That's like I'm gonna start at one up first. Verse 7. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 4, verse 7. And the first beast was like a lion.
Was like a what?
A lion.
Right.
And the second beast like a calf. And the third beast had a face of a man. And the fourth beast was like a flying eagle. 4 faces.
Right. Those are all different angels, right? What do they? What? That one ain't right. I got you. What do they show us that angels look like on Earth?
Oh, real white, blonde hair, wings.
Right.
Right.
They all look like somebody from Aerosmith.
And, right, exactly. And honestly, bro, even being black, like I grew up a long time thinking Jesus was white with blonde hair and blue eyes.
So
like
did
that.
we.
You know what I mean? Like I thought that he was just the guy.
That
You know what I
picture
mean?
on
Like he
back
was
of
the
there.
one that was like cool. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Why? You know why they gave us that?
Why is that?
And the time period that they gave it to us in slavery. Right?
Oh, I already know that. You don't even gotta.
Why did they give it to us in
To
slavery?
make our misery okay.
Right.
Like to give
and,
us.
and then not only that, but to look at them like, we can't attack them.
Right.
That's God.
Right.
So we can't fight back. That's God right there. We can't go and attack God.
Yep.
Right. So they gave that to us while they was trotting us down, beating us, hurting us, making us into all sorts of pain. And they said, don't worry, he's going to save you.
Right. Right. Like that's I feel you. That makes total sense, bro.
This is your God.
Even growing up, like black and like my cousins and shit that are like not mixed.
Right.
Like you are taught, like you're not even taught, but you're like it's like ingrained in you that like white is like
It's right.
Better than me.
They
Like
teach you that white is right.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
That's the thing, right? But
Yeah,
they're not even white.
Right.
The Lord calls them red.
Oh, I thought you was gonna say that Caucasian actually means people of color.
Caucasian actually means cave dweller.
Does it?
Yes,
Alright,
because
word.
the Caucasians actually came from the Caucasus Mountains of Georgia, Russia. Right. So Caucasian just means cave dweller, right? Let's get Obadiah. What about? Oh, no, if you got another one, bring that out. No, bring it out.
Come, this is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 1 and verse 14. And the living creatures.
Hold on, wait till that. And the what?
And the living creatures ran and returned as the appearance of a flash of lightning.
Right.
Now as I beheld the living creatures, behold, one wheel upon the earth.
That's what he's drawing right there, too.
By the living creatures, which his 4 faces, the appearance of the wheel, and their works was like unto the color of a beryl.
Right.
Listen, I got it right. The color of a beryl. But all that sound like somebody who can't describe metal with the multi-color. Right. All right.
And the appearance of the wheel and their works were like the color of a beryl. And they 4 had one likeness, and their appearance and their work was as if there were a wheel in the middle of a wheel.
That's right, man. It's like a wheel being in the middle of a wheel.
Come on.
Right? That's one depiction. All right? So that's 2 depictions of angels, and they don't look or sound anything like what the world gives us.
Or like each other.
Right. Go ahead.
There's the book of Isaiah, chapter 6 and verse 1. And in the year that King Uzziah died, I saw also the Lord sitting upon his throne, high and lifted up, and his train filled the temple. Above it stood the seraphims.
A what?
The seraphims.
Right.
Above it stood the seraphims. Each had 6 wings.
Had what?
6 wings.
Right.
With twine. He covered his face with twine. He covered his feet with twine.
Right.
He did fly.
He did what?
He did fly.
Right. So he got like a string type on his face, his feet, his
Right, so why
wings.
would he have his face all covered up? Like, why would he be all...
Everything ain't for us to know.
I
Or
know.
for us to see.
So,
That's right.
So
Right.
this is the one he described, right?
Right. That was
Now-
that was the one just before that.
Yeah, now so if you saw 3 of these in the sky together,
Right.
from someone who can't describe electronics,
Right.
or metal,
Right.
or nothing like that. Wouldn't you think that maybe they're trying to describe some kind of
metal wheel that's inside of each other? Right.
Yeah,
Because
so,
whenever you hear of the clouds,
so you think that
right?
was an alien, bro?
No.
That's what I'm trying to ask you.
No,
Do you
those
think that
are
was technology
right.
that we couldn't describe.
That we don't right,
That's
especially
what I was
back
trying to
then.
figure out. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So they couldn't describe. I mean, whenever in Revelation, and John the Revelator is describing, he said there's a scorpion. No, he said it's a locust, right? And it looks like a man. He said it has the face of a man. He said it has the hair of like a horse, and it has a stinger like a scorpion. He's describing helicopters.
What?
Yes, he tells you like it has
so
like.
What are your thoughts on that, bro? Dang. So you definitely.
But back then, they didn't know what that stuff was because they had never seen it before.
Right.
So how do you think that was happening? Do you think somebody was able to eventually go back through time?
No.
Slip through a portal?
No, the Lord gives you these things. The Lord will show it to you either in a dream or you space out and boom, you see all that stuff, right? Now the Lord had his disciples to take this stuff and then put it in a book so that we could know.
That's right.
But how could they have known that back then if the Bible was not true? They were saying this stuff that they didn't really know what it was and letting us know for today because this stuff is soon to come.
Right.
We're about to see
That's
the
right.
angels. We're about to see what they call the UFO. We know what they are. We know they're the chariots of God. We know that the angels that have 4 faces are sitting in them and move it with his brain. He ain't even got to touch anything. He think up, down, left, right, in the water. They can do all sorts of stuff. That's why America's so distraught about it. Every other country's distraught about it. Like, what's going? They're aliens.
So I got 2 more to ask you about.
God.
Moses' first encounter with the burning bush, right? Mm-hmm. He said it looked like a bush that was set ablaze,
Right.
but was not consumed by the flame.
Right.
So it's like a bush that has maybe a light shine on it from you ever see a tree at nighttime when it's a full moon?
Right.
And the moon shining through the tree?
Right.
Don't it look like something's on fire, but it's not burning
Yeah, but you got to remember that the Most High God has power to actually make that bush burn without it being consumed, without it being burning. I mean, it don't even necessarily have to give heat, but it could have been a glow of gold and blue. You know what I mean? We like to think of these things whenever we see them, right? Like as if we're there, but that was Christ in that bush talking to Moses, right? Christ was physically.
I guess the Bible tells me.
Right.
But I'm asking you because I feel like you have figured it out more. You know what I mean? That's why I'm asking.
Right.
But that was the other one I was going to ask you about was.
He got a lot of questions.
All praise.
All praise.
Oh,
No, I keep them.
I think it was Moses again.
Okay.
And I think it was another encounter with the burning bush. Or no, it was when I thought Moses didn't see God because he couldn't behold him.
No one has ever seen
Right.
God.
So who did Moses see that under their feet it looked like shone sapphire?
It looked like a what?
Shone sapphire, like shine sapphire.
Underneath of.
It must have been an angel.
Okay. Under his feet was shown sapphire. Ah, man, I can't even think of that account off my head. I can't even sit here and tell you I know what that one is.
This is back to the burning bush, though.
God.
It's a book of, they'll let you know who's this bush. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 14 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
And it came to pass upon the 3rd day, I sat under an oak, and behold, there came a voice out of a bush over against me,
right,
and said, Esdras. And I said, Here I am, Lord. And I stood upon my feet. Then said he unto me, In the bush I did reveal myself unto Moses.
Unto who?
Unto Moses.
Right.
And talked with him when my people served in Egypt.
Right. So Christ came in that bush and spoke with Moses.
Right.
Back in the day. Right. Whenever we were in servitude. Right. Yeah, we was in
So I thought that, right? Like, I'm glad that you tried that back around full circle, because I thought that Oh no, Hebrews. Like I thought the slaves in Egypt were black. You know
We
what I
were.
mean? And I thought those were either the Hebrews or the Jews.
We were.
And then I guess I got somewhere
is
along
it.
the line I started thinking it was those other folks I told you.
Right, because they made us think that way.
Right.
Because they lied to us. They didn't become Jewish and actually in our land until 1948. It was like the Balfour Declaration, right? So that's when they actually took over our. My mom's older than that. My mom was born in. Yeah, my mom was born in 45. Like before they even had our land, and there was so-called only 6 million of them that died. There was over what 100 million of us that were perished, died. We've been in slavery for over 400 years.
That ain't even counting the ones that jumped from the ships, bro.
Right, exactly.
Right.
And then they took the Hispanics before us in 1492, and the conquistadors grabbed them up, took them everywhere. And then the brother, you got to get your own platform and teach, right? You can't just come out here and say it again. Come on, brother. Can you get the brother a water, Papa Kisha? Come on, all praise to the Most High. Brother Greg brought those through. No buying or selling today, right? We can bring that out too. Oh, you got more on the.
No, he actually brought the Egyptians.
Come on, bring that out.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 11 and verse 7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue.
Right.
Against man or beast.
Right.
That ye may know how that the Lord do put a difference.
He did what?
The Lord do put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
So the Lord put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel, right? So the Israelites and the Egyptians were dark-skinned, melanated people.
Also black.
Yes.
The Kemet Egyptians.
Right. Right. Now, they changed them. The Africans. They are so-called Africans, right? Yeah, Cushites. Right. They're also so-called Africans. Cush, Ethiopians, Canaanites.
So the best years of Egypt, right?
Okay.
Of Egyptian culture, the most richest years, was when blue black was actually running.
Oh, you talking about their ancient pharaohs?
Yeah, there was like I think 100-year period where the pharaohs were black because if I'm not mistaken,
they didn't change.
The Moors invaded.
They didn't change until the Lord destroyed them all. Remember, He killed them all in the Red Sea.
Right.
And once they were dead in the Red Sea, somebody had to come and take up the name of, right? The people over there today that are in Egypt, they're not Egyptian. Those are actually Arabs that just migrated, right? And now they say they're Egyptian because they live in Egypt. Right. And why they cut off his nose?
Right.
Because he had a black man's nose.
He does have a black nose.
Right, so that's why they cut that thing off. If you look at their hieroglyphs, you can see that they're black people over top of black people. Right. Right. If you look at the hieroglyphs, you got black people enslaving black people there. Right? That's why they say, well, black people enslaved black people first. No. So-called Africans enslaved the Israelites.
That's right.
Right?
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 1 and verse 13.
Bring it out.
And the Egyptians.
And the who?
And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor.
With what?
With rigor.
That's hard bondage.
That's right.
Right? They made us to serve with hard bondage. Right? They knew that we were the children of God, though. So they was like, look, we can't make them serve too hard because if they leave and go with somebody else, they're going to come back and destroy us because they're so strong. They still don't understand how we built them pyramids today, but we had power back then to be able to lift them rocks and move them, right?
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 1 and verse 9. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we.
Right.
Come on. Let us deal wisely with them.
Let us do what?
Let us deal wisely with them.
Would you say that to a regular slave that you got in slavery? Let us deal wisely with them. You wouldn't care how you treated them. They knew who we were.
Right.
So they was like, hold up, we got to deal wisely with them. Go ahead.
Lest they out. So like, unless they multiply, and it comes to pass that when they're falling out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us.
Right.
And so get them up out of the land.
Right, because who's the strongest people on the face of the planet?
I guess it's us, bro.
So-called black people.
That's right.
Right?
I mean, like, just factually, right?
Right.
Everything, all cultures take from us.
Right.
We're
Who's the best football
the
players?
flavor of the planet.
Right.
Like,
We're the salt of the earth.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what the Lord calls us. The salt of the earth. So,
Because, like,
who's the best football players?
Facts.
Who's the best basketball players? Singers,
Athletes,
dancers, just
artists.
anything though. I mean, we've created everything.
So, like,
If it wasn't from a black man or a Hispanic man or a Native or Seminole Indian, who was it from?
rock music,
Right.
country music, and lots
None of that.
all
The so-called white man had to steal it.
Yeah.
The Asian man had to steal it. Right? The Arab man, he at the bottom. He don't know nothing about nothing. You don't want no doggone pasty-based food after them. You don't want nothing off of them.
But that's what it seems like all the cultures that borrow from us, it seems like
Nah, they steal.
they just
They
want to
don't
like
borrow, brother.
take the shit that they want,
Right.
but like they just want to like take the good shit, and,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like,
And then leave the rest. But you know what? You know that's a reason that they don't want to wipe us out? You know how boring basketball would be if wasn't nobody dunking?
or the whole planet.
He shoots a three. Right? It would be terrible. You know how slow they would run up and down the court? They'd have to make the court shorter.
You can find a video of what it used to
Come
look
on,
like
Doc.
before they let us play.
Right. What I seen one.
Right.
And they have to. They got them little baby shorts up. Come on, man. It was terrible. Why? Because we are God's chosen people. We are God's favorite people. Right? Let me get Isaiah 45 and verse 4, Baba Kasha.
You notice anything you give somebody last like, we can make something out of anything.
Out of anything.
Like out of anything.
Come on, man. We was given pig intestines, right?
Right.
Pig guts, butt, everything, and we made a
And
delicacy.
now y'all say now they call it
Come
a
on,
delicacy.
man. Bring that out, Ken.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 45 and verse 4. For Jacob, my servant's
Right.
sake,
Jacob would be Judah, Benjamin, Levi.
and Israel,
Ephraim on down.
my elect.
Right, so the Lord has chosen us. He doesn't choose everybody. He made 18 nations. He only chose one nation of people. That nation is the Israelites. But we didn't know that we was the same as Hispanics. We had no idea that we was the same as the Native and Seminole Indians because they told us that we're different people.
Seminole Island.
Con, actually Seminole Indian, right?
So I don't know. I don't think I know what Seminole means. I just thought, does that mean like?
They came from a different aspect of the Indian. The Hispanics came from them as well, right? We were just broken up into tribes.
Right.
That's all.
I got another question, but I don't want to switch
No, go ahead. Ask your question.
topics too quickly. To like finish your point. You got another.
Oh, that was it, King.
All right, cool. I was just wondering why this guy has a sign that says "We."